I've got David Stearns with me, and David, I asked you this question, but just want to dig into it a little bit more. When you don't know a guy in advance, how does Carlos Mendoza first pop up on your radar? When did you first start thinking of him, at minimum, as a candidate?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Carlos, because of his personality and he just goes about his job and does his work, maybe has been a little bit out of the public view for some time. But within baseball circles, within front offices, he's been talked about as a likely manager and a likely very good manager for a number of years now, going back 3 or 4 years. So he's someone that I've thought about for a while. And as soon as it became clear we were going to have an opening here, he was someone who was at the top of my mind as a potential candidate. And then the more I learned about him, the more I talked to players who have played for him, coaches who have coached with him, executives who have worked with him. The feedback I got aligned consistently with what I was seeking here. And then we progressed to the interview stages where I was able to spend some real time with him, understand how he thinks, what makes him tick. We got along great, and we're here today, and I'm thrilled about it.
He said in the press conference that you guys really put him to work, and he told us just now there was one day where he had 6 hours of Zooms with you and multiple members of the front office. What exactly were you looking for in those conversations? What did align with your own philosophy?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, I wanted someone, and think it's essential to have someone who can relate to a wide variety of people. Managers are tasked, we talk so much about what they have to do in-game, but so much of their job starts at 2 p.m. and goes to 1 a.m. When the game's not actually going on. And they're managing personalities, and they're keeping groups of people from different backgrounds together, rowing in the same direction, people who are at different stages of their lives. And I think Carlos has all of these different world experiences, different life experiences, different perspectives that some of us don't have, but it allows him to relate to so many different people in a clubhouse, and that was very important to me.
At your introductory press conference, we talked about your history as a Mets fan and how you know the pressures of this city and this fan base are a little bit different. When you were looking at Carlos and talking to him, he seems to have such an optimistic, positive nature to him, and talks about that a lot and how important that is, culture building. How important was that to you to have somebody who had that type of attitude?
It is important because we know even the best of Major League seasons have their ups and downs. And so much of having a successful season is staying upbeat, staying positive, understanding that every 5-game losing streak or every tough loss or every tough injury doesn't need to upend your season. You just need to push through it and keep going and have faith that someone else is going to step up, that tomorrow will be better or next week will be better. And Carlos can do that. He's seen it all in this game. He's been through great years. He's been through tough years. And he brings with him that perspective and optimistic nature that I think is really important in a leader.
You talked about the fact that he's a first-time manager, but that everybody at one point was a first-time manager. With that specifically, though, what do you need to see when you're having these conversations that makes you believe that he's going to be one of the successful first-time managers?
Yeah, there's a security that's probably needed, a self-security, a self-confidence, a belief in yourself that you can do this, and I think Carlos possesses that. And look, New York is different for everyone, and I do think that's important to note here. Whether you're a first-time manager, you're coming from a different market, New York is just different, and so you're never certain how anyone is going to handle the big stage and the bright lights. That's true with executives, it's true with managers, it's true with players. But I do think giving Carlos's experience in this town with everything that comes with it, I think he is uniquely positioned to handle this well.
Finally, David, you've been on the job now about a month and a half. As you've dug in and as you've started to formulate a plan for this offseason, what is the appetite right now of the organization to spend this offseason at the high end of the market the way that they have the last couple of off seasons?
I think this organization and Steve has indicated that when the time is right, the appetite is there. We're still evaluating what those opportunities could look like this offseason. And if we think now is the time, then we're certainly going to be competitive competitive. But as I said before, it's not going to be every premium free agent. It may not even be every offseason. But that doesn't mean we won't have productive off seasons. It doesn't mean we won't be able to put competitive teams on the field. We just need to evaluate what the right investments are at the right time for the organization.
All right, thanks, David. Congratulations on the hire. We'll see you in a few weeks in Nashville.
Sounds great. Thank you.